Kristen, I don't want an HOA. Number one thing that buyers tell me, hands down. After I get to talking to them, I find out that they really actually don't have a problem with an HOA. What they actually have problems with are the restrictive covenants. So instead of asking or saying, I don't want an HOA, you need to be asking your agent, what are the restrictive covenants? Because a property can have restrictive covenants and not have an HOA. Because the United States Postal Service has a delivery requirement for some neighborhoods, most new neighborhoods, they require builders to put in a mailbox kiosk instead of having mailboxes in front of each home. Because that is a requirement and builders are required to place these, there is usually a small HOA. So a lot of times I tell clients, don't freak out. I'm sending you a home that you're going to see a small HOA. However, there's not any restrictive covenants. This HOA is very small. It's $30 a month or sometimes less than that. And all it does is maintain the mailbox kiosks. Sometimes they have to be lit. They have to be insured. If they're damaged, they have to be repaired. Usually there's a parking, pad out in front of it with a few parking spaces. Sometimes there's multiple mailbox kiosks throughout the neighborhood. That's why there's an HOA. However, they don't have restrictive covenants. People need to pay attention to the restrictive covenants. I personally live in an area where there's no HOA, but our little village has a lot of restrictive covenants. Things like you're not allowed to have chickens, you have to have a certain type of fence, you're not allowed to operate a business out of your home, or you're not allowed to park a trailer. Or there was one neighborhood that my clients came across that they were not allowed to park more than 2 cars in their driveway at a time, no matter how many licensed drivers were in the house. Personally, that would never work for me. I have 3 kids. They're all going to be driving at the same time, and our driveway is going to be loaded with 5 cars, plus their friends. Like, no, that's a hard no for me. The important thing is, though, is that some people don't understand to ask these questions, and they just think that because there's no HOA that they're going to be able to do whatever they want with their property, and that's not the case. So please, please, please make sure that you are asking your agent if there are any restrictive covenants. That is the number one thing that you are probably more concerned with, because again, people think HOA and restrictive covenants are one and the same, and they're not.